Plato, an influential ancient Greek philosopher, had profound insights on the quest for meaning in life. He believed that the search for true meaning and purpose was central to human existence. Plato's philosophy emphasized that genuine meaning could be found by aligning one's thoughts, actions, and life with higher principles and ideals. He believed that life's purpose wasn't merely about seeking pleasure or material gain, but involved a deeper exploration of truth, virtue, and wisdom. In his writings, often presented as dialogues between characters, Plato encouraged critical thinking and philosophical inquiry as essential tools for discovering one's true purpose. He argued that through rational reflection and open-minded dialogue, individuals could uncover the authentic meaning of their lives and pursue a path of moral and intellectual growth. Ultimately, Plato's views on finding meaning in life revolve around the idea that it's an ongoing journey of self-discovery, guided by reason, virtue, and the pursuit of higher truths. Plato's philosophy is referred to as Platonic Idealism. Along with Socrates, his mentor, and Aristotle, his student, Plato is one of the most influential individuals in the entire history of humankind. He invented the written dialogue and the dialect form of philosophy. Some of his most famous books are The Republic, The Symposium, The Apology of Socrates, Allegory of the Cave, and The Dialogues of Plato, in which the main character is Socrates, who influenced Plato's philosophy to a huge extent. Even after 2,400 years, Plato's work is still popular and relevant today, which is why in this video we talk about how to find meaning in life from the philosophy of Plato. Number 1. Move away from distorted beliefs. In one of the Platonic dialogues, Socrates said, "Unexamined life is not worth living." For Plato, finding the meaning of life starts with focusing on your own existence rather than blindly accepting opinions and beliefs. He believes that we often adopt ideas without truly understanding them or connecting them to a universal purpose. Socrates, Plato's prominent figure, employs a unique conversational method rooted in doubt and scrutiny. He questions every statement and definition that governs our lives, asking fundamental inquiries like, "Why do you believe that?" or "Can we consider alternative viewpoints?" This approach can be applied both in conversations with others and when pondering personal decisions. For instance, you can practice this by asking these questions when facing life's challenges. Let's say you're at a crossroads in your career. You've been working in a job for several years, but you're feeling unfulfilled and uninspired. You're contemplating whether to stay in your current job or explore new career opportunities. Using Plato's approach, you might start by asking yourself some fundamental questions. Why am I in this job in the first place? This question prompts you to reflect on your initial motivations and whether they still align with your current situation. What do I truly enjoy and value in my work? Here you delve into aspects of your job that bring you satisfaction and fulfillment. Am I following this career path because of societal expectations or personal passion? This question encourages you to examine whether external pressures or your own genuine interests are driving your choices. Could there be alternative career paths that better align with my values and aspirations? You could explore whether there are different career options that might offer a more meaningful and satisfying experience. And finally, how can I verify or disprove my assumptions about my career choices? This prompts you to seek evidence or gather information that supports or challenges your beliefs about your career. As you ponder these questions, you may realize that your current job no longer aligns with your values and aspirations. This might lead you to consider a career change, perhaps pursuing a path that resonates more with your true passions and desires. Plato's philosophy encourages you to undergo a process of self-examination and, if necessary, a significant life direction shift to pursue a more meaningful and purposeful path. Imagine that your beliefs and choices in life are like shadows on a wall. These shadows aren't the real thing, just distorted representations. Plato suggests that to truly understand the meaning of life, you need to move away from these distorted beliefs and find a more solid foundation, akin to stepping out of the shadows and into the light. This process of moving from ignorance to understanding is what Plato calls conversion. It's like waking up to a new awareness. To do this, you need to look inward and discover your genuine desires and needs that bring true value to your life. Plato always says that this process of conversion might mean making big changes in your life, like giving up things that don't really matter to you and focusing on what's most important. It's about always searching for a deeper meaning in everything you do. Number 2. Follow your love. In the words of Plato, love is simply the name for the desire and pursuit of the whole. In Plato's Symposium, love is explained as a deep desire for a meaningful life and understanding the ultimate purpose of everything. It's like a journey that changes us profoundly and can seem a bit crazy because it disrupts our usual habits and thoughts. For example, let's say you live a typically conventional and routine life. You go to work, socialize with friends, and generally follow the expectations of society. Life is comfortable, but there's a sense of emptiness and a lack of deeper meaning. One day, you meet someone. This encounter sparks a romantic attraction, and you fall deeply in love. However, in the context of Plato's philosophy as presented in the Symposium, this love is not just about the emotions and the attraction to the physical appearance. It goes beyond that. It becomes a transformative force in your life. Your love for that person awakens a profound desire for meaning. It's no longer just about the romantic relationship. It's about understanding why love itself is so important and what it means for one's existence. This love begins to change you. You start to become more considerate, compassionate, and selfless. You're inspired to improve yourself, not just for your partner, but to become a better person in general. Love disrupts your usual habits. You might find yourself questioning the materialistic pursuits that used to define your life, such as a focus on career success or material possessions. This can be unsettling as it challenges the familiar path. As you delve deeper into your love for your partner, you begin to contemplate the nature of love itself. You explore philosophical questions about the purpose of love, the role it plays in human existence, and how it connects to larger concepts like beauty and truth. Through this journey, you gradually realize that love, as Plato describes it, is a means to access a higher understanding of life's purpose. It's not just about loving one person. It's about tapping into a universal force that drives us towards greater wisdom and enlightenment. Love is often seen as an emotion or something related to our relationships with people, which is true. But Plato believed it goes much deeper. Love is the desire to fill a missing part of ourselves. Plato talked about an ancient idea that humans were once one being, and love is the longing to reunite with that lost unity. This idea of love leads us through different stages, like climbing a ladder, with each rung representing a step towards finding the highest meaning. Step 1. Physical attraction. At first, we're attracted to someone's physical appearance, like their eyes or their smile. But this level has problems because physical beauty changes, and there's nothing entirely unique about it. Step 2. Beauty of personality. This next step is to appreciate someone's inner beauty, the beauty of their personality and soul. Step 3. Beauty of knowledge. As we go further, we realize that individual personalities are not enough. We start seeking the beauty in knowledge and the universal truths that explain the world. And finally, step 4. Ultimate beauty. The final step is to love the highest beauty itself, which is the ultimate source of meaning and harmony in the universe. This ladder of love shows that love is the driving force behind everything we do, think, and desire. It encourages us to seek meaning at every stage of our journey. In our modern lives, where many people feel anxious and lost, understanding love in this way can help. This definition of love is not only limited to our romantic pursuits, but with everything we do. Anxiety and loss of meaning are widely known for modern-day people. We believe that a Platonic understanding of love can help us in that kind of situation. For example, when you lose your job or something that appears to be the source of meaning, your first step can't be hopeless disappointment, but rather you should attempt to rebuild the ladder of your love. Find something that catches your attention and just follow it. For example, let's say you're passionate about collecting rare stamps. Concentrate your attention on it and find out the final desire that lies behind this hobby. It can be a hidden love of history, geography, politics, and so on. The only thing you need to change and rule your destiny is attention to your love in small things. When you face challenges or lose something that seemed meaningful, you can rebuild your sense of purpose by paying attention to what you love, no matter how small it may seem. It's a path that can lead you to discover the deeper meaning in everything around you. Number 3. Build the republic of your soul. Plato ponders, isn't it quite necessary for us to agree that the very same forms and dispositions as are in the city are in each of us? Being an ancient philosopher, Plato had an idea about how a perfect society should be organized. He believed that this ideal society should have 3 main groups of people: philosophers, aka the teachers, guardians, aka the protectors, and laborers, aka the workers. Philosophers are the wise and knowledgeable individuals who should lead society. They're freed from the responsibilities of protecting the state and producing goods because they're focused on understanding deep ideas and truths. The guardian's primary job is to protect society. They don't need to worry about making things or money. Their duty is to keep everyone safe. Laborers are responsible for producing goods and resources. Unlike the philosophers and guardians, they don't make decisions about the direction of society. They focus on providing for everyone's needs. Of course, in reality, this is simply allegorical, as humans are too nuanced and individual to be placed perfectly into one of these 3 societal groups, nor does anyone have a right to categorize another human being in this way. Indeed, Plato also believed that these 3 groups corresponded to different aspects of a person's soul. Philosophers represent wisdom in a person, guardians represent their bravery, and laborers their self-restraint. So, just as these qualities come together to form Plato's version of an ideal society, they also form an ideal person. This idea may seem philosophical, but it has practical implications for our real lives. Plato suggested that these virtues can be seen as stages of personal growth. The first, self-restraint and satisfaction. At first, we focus on meeting our basic needs and striving for well-being. Second, limiting material pursuits. We eventually realize that chasing after material wealth endlessly can be harmful, and we start seeking fulfillment beyond material possessions. Third, taking care of others. As we mature, we begin to care for others, like pets, children, or aging parents. This stage teaches us love and care, but often remains task-orientated rather than understanding a higher purpose. And fourth and finally, real wisdom and love. The final stage involves achieving true wisdom and love, where we see the world not as a place to possess things, but as a space filled with subjects to love and cherish. Plato believed that this process of personal development is innate in our nature and aligns with our experiences. It's about learning to see the world in a deeper and more meaningful way. In practical terms, this means that our main goal in life is to allow our inner potential to unfold and develop fully, just as an ideal society should operate at its best. This development involves moving from pursuing material wealth to caring for others and ultimately reaching a state of wisdom and love where we see the world in a profoundly different and more loving way. Number 4. Establish the power of your intellect. According to Plato, in truth, this cosmos in its origin was generated as a compound from the combination of necessity and reason. Our lives are filled with things that happen naturally, and many times these things are beyond our control or even understanding. Sometimes these uncontrollable events can cause physical suffering, like illness, or emotional suffering when something hurts our inner peace. Now, even if we can organize our thoughts and find a logical meaning in our lives, what do we do with these irrational, uncontrollable things that can unexpectedly disrupt our plans? How do we handle having a strong desire for something meaningful when an unexpected disaster comes along? Plato wrote something interesting in a complex dialogue called Timaeus, which talks about how the universe was created. While some of the ideas about gods in this text might seem a bit old-fashioned today, there's an interesting part where it says that the universe was created by a combination of necessity and reason. Reason persuaded necessity to create the universe in the best way possible. We can apply this idea to our own lives. Just like in the cosmos, our lives are also a mix of necessity, the things we can't control, and reason, which is our ability to think and make decisions. But how does this apply to our personal lives? How can we use this concept? Imagine you're in a job that you don't enjoy, but you feel trapped because it pays the bills and you have family responsibilities. This situation represents the necessity part of your life, the things you can't control, like financial obligations and family needs. Applying reason in this context means considering your career choices and personal happiness against your obligations and responsibilities. To begin this journey, start by identifying the aspects of your career and life that you can control. These might include your skills, education, networking, and the effort you put into exploring new opportunities. Then, define clear and achievable career goals that align with your interests and values. For example, if you've always been passionate about a different field, set a goal to acquire the necessary skills or education. But critically, understand that change takes time. Transitioning to a more fulfilling career requires patience and strategic planning. Acknowledge that meaningful change cannot be instantaneous. If possible, plan a gradual transition to minimize the impact on your financial stability. Perhaps you can dedicate evenings or weekends to acquiring new skills. And be prepared for setbacks along the way. Rejections and challenges are part of life's necessity aspect, but your reason will be your guiding force, motivating you to persevere. Importantly, do not go through this transformation alone. Seek support from people who've trodden a similar path or turn to mentors for guidance. Their experiences can offer both practical advice and emotional encouragement. Throughout this process, keep your long-term purpose and meaning in life at the forefront. This could be your passion for a specific career or your desire for a more fulfilling job. Allow this ultimate purpose to steer your decisions and actions. By applying these steps, you're using reason to navigate the mix of necessity and reason in your career choices. Over time, you can transition towards a more meaningful and satisfying career, balancing the uncontrollable elements with your rational decision-making. This approach helps you make the best of what life presents, even when faced with challenges. Number 5. Cultivate your contemplation skills. In our final quote from Plato for this video, he says, "We must be free from the body, and must behold the actual realities with the eye of the soul alone." In conclusion, we can sum up everything we've learned so far into one universal rule: cultivate your contemplation skills. We should work on improving our ability to think deeply and reflect on things, which is called contemplation. By doing this, we can gain a special way of looking at the world, where we see how our inner thoughts and the world around us are connected and make sense together. This skill of contemplation is a stage of personal growth and searching for the meaning of life. When we get really good at it, the meaning of life becomes very clear to us, and it feels like a part of our everyday reality, because you're getting better at seeing and understanding the world. When we reach this level of clear understanding, we aren't bothered by the constant changes and challenges of the world. Instead, we feel like we're living a meaningful life. Everything we do is connected to our journey towards discovering the ultimate truth about life and the universe. Plato believed that to truly understand things, we need to free our minds from the distractions and desires of our physical bodies. He thought that our bodies and their desires are often the cause of conflicts and wars because we fight over things like money and resources, which are connected to our physical needs. Plato believed that to see the truth, we need to focus on the thoughts and ideas of our minds, like the eye of the soul. Plato's approach to freeing our minds from physical distractions involves several key steps. Start with self-reflection to identify your desires and conflicts. Think about your own desires, attachments, and distractions. What are the things in your life that you constantly crave or that cause conflicts? It could be material possessions, status, or other external factors. Recognizing these desires is the first step. Then, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness meditation can help you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions. By observing your thoughts without judgment, you can gain insight into the desires and distractions that affect your daily life. Mindfulness can help you detach from these immediate desires and become more in tune with your inner self. Engage in critical thinking and philosophical inquiry. Question your beliefs and assumptions about what brings happiness and fulfillment. Refine your understanding and distance yourself from shallow desires. Reduce materialism by finding a balance between material possessions and intellectual growth. Prioritize education in philosophy and ethics. Seek virtues like wisdom and courage to guide your actions, and engage in meaningful discussions with others to refine your understanding and overcome everyday distractions. Plato also mentioned that music can help us with this contemplation and understanding. He thought that music, with its harmony and rhythm, can create a sense of love and unity among people. So listening to music attentively can be more than just enjoyable. It can also be a profound way to connect with our inner selves and find beauty and meaning in the world around us. In summary, Plato encourages us to develop our ability to think deeply and contemplate life. And contemplation can lead us to a deeper understanding of the world and our place in it, and find beauty and meaning in life.